All right, you guys, what is happening? It's Garrett Fankhauser here with FFL Funnels. You guys can see I shaved my beard. I am naked. I do not like it. I hope it grows back very soon. Today, in this special live, actually, before I do that, I am going to have the next part in the Facebook group build series that I've been doing for you guys. That is coming. I'm going to film it after this. I have a couple calls that I need to jump on, but I wanted to get in here live with you guys and walk through some of the sales scripting that we actually do with our highest level clients. We actually have a tier of working with clients that we don't generally talk about with most of you guys, because it's generally reserved for the guys at the highest tier level that have like a team that are doing 50, 100K or more every month. And we use this to help you guys and your team optimize your scripting around how to speak with people in a way that's going to actually guide them to finding the solution to their problem so that they'll actually buy more from you, right? So this is less of like an online sales type thing, but it can be done in chat. Those of you guys that have spoke with me in person, like on chat, probably will like recognize some of the way that I do this. But this comes from spending tens of thousands of dollars in like sales classes. I still work with a coach. I actually am supposed to be jumping on here with the coach in a minute. So as soon as I finish this, I'm going to jump into that. But one thing real quick before I jump into this, if you guys are watching live, please comment live. It does help get this in front of more people, gets more exposure, all that good stuff. And then if you guys are watching the replay, hit replay. That'll bump it up in the feed and get it in front of more people. Cool. So what I'm going to do with you guys is I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to go to Miro, which is a free tool that you guys see me use all the time, right? So let me move some stuff. I have some Zoom stuff. You guys probably can't even see this, but it is in my way. All right, I'm going to put myself up here so I can look right here. Cool. So this is generally what I see with most of you guys' conversations. And this happens like through social media, on the phone, whatever it is, right? Your prospects come up and they say, hey, I'm looking for this. Can you give me a price? Right? And you say, sure, hang on. And then you go do all this looking and digging and all this stuff. And then you say, cool, person, Bob, whatever, it is going to be $100, right? Price doesn't matter. And then this is like the killer right here, right? This is what everybody says. Let me know if you need that, right? This is basically passing the ball into their court and giving them like, not, I don't want to say like no pressure, but this is not how you close a sale. Like if you just say like, yeah, let me know if you need it, right? People are like, yeah, I don't even know if I need it. $100 sounds like a lot, right? And so what they say is they say, okay, cool. I'll let you know. And then they turn into this little guy down here, right? They turn into this little ghost and you never fucking hear or see from them again. So I'm going to give you guys, this is just a script that I like wrote up just to share with you guys today. This is not necessarily like 100% what we would actually give to our clients. But I just wanted to give you guys something that to kind of flip the script on that and give you a better idea of like how this generally goes at a place where people actually know how to sell, right? So let's walk through this. I don't have a ton of time, so I'm going to go through this fast. My suggestion is that if you find this valuable, pause, rewatch it, pause it, and go through this and write yourself a sales script. You don't actually have to use the script. You don't have to read it like a robot, but read it enough to where you understand the concepts of why you're asking the questions and the order of questions that you're asking so that it'll make sense and you can start using this in your business and you can start training some of your employees to do this, right? So same thing, prospect, hey, I'm looking for this. Can you give me a price? You say, sure, I can do that. I can totally get you a price. But maybe to better understand like what you might be using it for, can you tell me a little bit about how you're currently using, oh, I forgot to put using in here. Using, like, how are you using this? What are you using it for, right? Let's say they want a new gun or whatever. Let's use like a Glock, a pistol or whatever. They have let's say they have a high point 9mm, right? And they're like, yeah, can you give me a price on a Glock 19? And you're like, cool, I can do that. To better understand, or they say, maybe can you get me a price on a pistol, right? Like, yeah, cool. Like which one or whatever, right? We want to kind of dig into that, right? But what you want to do is figure out how they're using it. Like if it's a pistol, are they using it for concealed carry? Is it like a comp gun? Is it something for home defense? Is it something for the wife? Is it something for the kids to play around with on the weekend? Is it something just to shoot beer cans on the edge of their property? Like, is it something for coyotes or whatever? Like, what are they using it for? Find out what people are actually going to use this product for. And obviously we can assume a lot of things, right? Like I posted something about Ear Pro yesterday. Obviously you guys can assume that like I'm going to use it for ear protection, right? But like, what am I using it for? Right. So to give you an idea and to break your fucking assumption, because you guys are like, oh, he's going to use it for shooting. I am. But I also want to have a good set of earmuffs to use when I work so that I don't get distracted by shit. You guys probably never would have thought about that if you didn't ask, what are you using this for? Right? You're like, it's fucking earmuffs. He's using it for shooting. I am, but I'm also using it for something else, right? So I need to make sure that I can have these on for like fucking 8 hours a day, right? If I go shooting for 20 minutes, I'll put in foamies or whatever, right? Or something uncomfortable. It doesn't matter. It's 20 minutes, right? So break all of your assumptions and stop having assumptions, right? So let's get back in. Yes. Right now I'm using High Point 9mm for shooting cans, right? Cool. How long have you been using that for, right? What are they using it for? You know, what do they have right now currently? How long have they been using it for, right? We want to see like, how long have you been using this for? Like, is this something that it's old and broken or whatever? Or do you just want something new and fancy, right? I've been using it for about time and have been having an issue with use 1 and use 2. Oh, they have a High Point and they figured out that they have a problem when they try to use it for X and Y, right? These two different uses, right? Whatever those uses may be. Fill in the blanks, guys. I'm not going to get too deep into this right now, but I need you guys to use your brains to fill in these blanks because I can't really, I don't have the time to do it all for you, but use this script and pause it and kind of walk through it, right? So cool. You're having an issue when you try to do use 1 and use 2 or feature 1, feature 2, whatever you want to say, right? Can you tell me a little bit more about those issues? I want to understand what problems that you're having when you're trying to do use 1 and use 2. Yeah, when I try to do use 1 and use 2, big problem happens and it totally sucks. Oh my gosh. You know, you're trying to do this and this huge problems happens, right? High Point, right? They're trying to shoot cans. They're trying to take their kids out back to shoot cans or whatever. And it jams every other round and it's hard to rack the slide and whatever it is, right? Just an example. Totally makes sense. I know that High Points have those problems, right? Whatever gun it is, it doesn't matter, right? I've seen that happen before. Are you open to maybe some information on what we've seen work for other people that have had the same problem and how we were able to help them fix that problem? Man, I'm open to anything right now. I literally just want to solve this problem so that my kids and I can go shoot cans in the backyard with this pistol, right? Cool. So most people that we've helped with having that big problem happen when they try to do use 1 and use 2 when using High Point 9mm, right? This is kind of an advanced script. You don't have to like say all of this stuff, but just kind of get the concept around it, right? Found that by using Glock 19 to shoot cans in the backyard with the kids, they were able to do exactly what they wanted to do much easier and never had to deal with a firearm that jammed on a regular basis, right? You can run steel case through it. You can, whatever it is, right? I know you're not supposed to run like steel through or whatever it is through a polygonal barrel like the Glocks have, the Gen 5s or whatever, but bear with me here. So basically we've kind of figured out like, what do you have? How long have you had it? And what's going on with it? Like, is there a problem? Okay, cool. There is a problem. Like, tell me more about that problem. Break that problem down so that I can completely understand, so that I can kind of like guide you as a friend, right? As a master and say like, yeah, dude, I've seen this before, man. High Points typically have a lot of problems with jamming. They're a cheap gun. It's kind of an entry level, you know. What we see, man, is that people that kind of move up from that into like a Glock 19, have none of those issues anymore. Super reliable. It's easy to work on. You can probably just take it apart and work on it and clean it and do all of that yourself without having to pay somebody to do it for you. Super good warranty. There's parts everywhere for all these different purposes if you want to upgrade it down the road, right? And the biggest thing is that you're not going to have to deal with big problem anymore. I actually have a couple of those in stock right now, and they're $549.99 right now. Do you think it would maybe make sense to kind of like explore looking into that? Like maybe just replace your high point with a Glock 19 so that you never have to deal with like having it jam again when you were, hanging out with your kids and trying to shoot some cans. Yeah. Yeah, that totally makes sense, right? This one's a little like forward where it's like, yeah, I'll take one, right? Maybe they're going to be like, cool, I would definitely like to look at one or learn a little bit more about one. Have that conversation with them, whether it's in person or whether it is on the phone or whether it's through chat or an email or whatever. The big thing is if you're chatting with somebody, try to move it to a phone call so you can have a real conversation with somebody. Many of you guys will notice that for me, like when we chat, if I'm like, yo, this is kind of a lot to type. Like, is it cool if we just like book a call and hop on? That way we can have a real conversation instead of like, there's so much that gets lost in translation when you're trying to message people or chat or whatever. It's a lot harder to sell things that way, right? And it's not even just selling things, right? It's solving people's problems. Like this dude's having a problem, right? And so here's a couple different ways that you can do it. Like this would be like a messenger thing, right? Here's the link, right? If you have a website that has like solid setup, it's easy for people to use, find the link for a Glock 19 Gen 5 or whatever it is, shoot it over to them, right? You lose control doing that, right? Because you're kind of just like, that's almost like let me know if you need one. Here's the link, right? So that would not be my number one recommendation, but if you think that might work, you might test it out and just see if that works. And then if not, you might want to move on to something else. Like if you imagine that you're on the phone or whatever with them, yeah, I can start one aside. I have two right now. Literally have one in stock. It sounds like you're just right down the road from me, or maybe you're across the country. I can ship one, right? So you can say like, if you want to grab your card, like, dude, I can just put this aside for you right now and I can hold it for you and you can come pick it up tomorrow. Or I know you're all the way in Texas and I'm in Arizona. Maybe like I'll just set one aside and then I can ship it to you. Would you be open to that? Right? Sure. Let me grab my card. Right. Again, that's kind of a forward, I didn't want to take this into like a 10-page conversation, but I hope this makes sense for you guys that we're tying in the problem that they're having to a solution that we know that other people have had success solving that problem. Right. So instead of just like passively saying like, hey, I'm looking for a price. Here's your price. Do you want it or not? There's no value in that. We don't know what they're going to use it for. We don't know the problems that they're having. We don't know how long they've had the one that maybe they just bought something brand new yesterday and they're like not trying to buy something because they just bought something, right? We don't know that, right? We can assume, but assumptions kill, right? It's not going to help you at all if we're just assuming everything, right? It's not helpful. So this is kind of some of the sales training that I wanted to run with you guys. You guys most know that I mostly focus on like marketing stuff, but there is a lot of sales stuff that can be super, super helpful for you guys. And so I'm going to start tying some of that stuff in here and there. As always, if you guys need help with your business, right? If you guys need help growing online or even installing some of this sales stuff or getting more foot traffic to your store, or whatever it is, shoot me a DM. It's probably the easiest way to reach me. We'll have a chat. I'll probably ask you to hop on a phone call. We'll chat. If it makes sense, if we find out the problem that you have and I might have a solution to that, I'll probably ask if you want to work with us, right? Nothing to hide here, guys. Literally nothing to hide. But if not, it's totally cool. Take this information and apply it to your business and make as much money as possible. I'm giving you guys all the tools here for free. I mean, if you guys have got a copy of the SEO tool that we gave out the other day that we're giving out, that is just a fucking game changer. Like nobody in the market is doing the kind of stuff that we're doing. Nobody in the market is dropping the value that we are, and nobody in the market is giving everything away for free. Right. So if you guys think the shit that we give away for free is dope, you should see the stuff that we have for our paying clients, right? Cool. Again, I hope this is helpful. And like I said, this is a lot and it's quick, right? So my suggestion is to go back through this and pause it and rewatch and that type of stuff so that you can kind of apply this to your own situation. Cool. I have got to jump on my coaching call. I'm already late for it, but I hope this was valuable for you guys, and I will catch you soon. Peace.